Magic 89.9.
610. Wow, mahal kita sinta. Will Mikel. I'm totally vibing to that song. Welcome to Healthline here on Magic 89.9. I'm Tina Ryan. You're with your midweek dose of music and health. And tonight, I've got a very special guest with me in the booth. We've got Doc Leo from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care at EAMC.
Yes.
Hi, Doc Leo.
Hello.
Welcome to the Magic Studio.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yes.
Grabe yung traffic.
Yes.
Only on a why is it on a Wednesday? It feels like a Friday when it comes to traffic. What is up?
Actually, I think that's every day.
But no, worse talaga pag Wednesday and Friday. But I'm glad you're here on time.
Yes.
Doc, you did say you're going to be the one to explain EAMC. So
Yeah,
tell me.
EAMC just stands for our institution, which is East Avenue Medical Center. It's a government hospital. NSC means National Specialty Center. So the DOH actually told us to be the National Specialty Center for burn care.
burn.
Yeah, so we have a burn center. It's been there for years.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they appointed us, but we got picked and we thought it was prestigious. But actually, it came with a lot of responsibilities.
I bet. I mean,
Yeah.
DOH lang naman ang nag-assign, diba?
Yeah, so very simply, we just have to overlook 18 other burn centers around 18 other regions in the Philippines. Yun
Okay,
lang naman.
I didn't even know we had that many.
Yeah.
But actually, baka kulang pa yun, no, Doc?
Yes, kulang pa actually ng 2 regions daw. Tama ba? Okay.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay, 2
something
more
like
regions.
that, yeah.
So Doc is here. We'll dive into burn safety and treatment at the next hour. But for now, we want our listeners to get to know you while we enjoy great music and a little health trivia. So ready to play along, Doc?
All right.
Okay, here we go. First trivia of the night. What is the body's largest organ?
Of course, it
Wait,
is.
is it A, heart, B, skin, or C, liver?
It is B, the skin.
There you go. That's
Yes.
right. It's the skin. And since Doc Leo takes care of one of the toughest skin injuries, which is burn,
true.
you'll want to keep listening. So again, join us for the next 2 hours. This is Healthline. Hi, everyone on playback.tv/magic899. I was just told by Doc Leo, our very special guest here, that he does listen to playback also in the ER from time to time.
Yeah.
Thank you,
As
Doc.
much as I can. Ever since like pre-med.
But don't tell me pinagraduate din kita, Doc.
Sige, hindi ko sasabihin.
Okay, so this is Healthline. For those who just tuned in, welcome to the show. Hi to Chris. Chris is already laughing. Ibang organ yung biggest sa akin. Haha, char. Negatron, really? Okay, it's too early for that. But hi to JP. Is it your birthday, JP? And to Christian Dom. Thank you, guys. Again, this is Healthline. Please stick around. We got Doc Leo with us all the way till 8. Here we go. Back to more of today's best music. We got Benson Boone and Mystical Magical on Magic 89.9.
Magic 89.9.
Miles Smith with Gold. Before that was Player 2. You and I and Khaled's in plain sight on today's best music. This is Healthline. I'm Tina Ryan. With me is Doc Leo Doble. He is from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care over at East Avenue Medical Center. Doc Leo,
Yes.
before our next question, a quick one for you. What made you specialize in burn care?
Actually, burn care is just a part of what my specialty does. I'm actually a plastic surgeon.
He is a plastic surgeon, guys.
Yeah, so
okay.
it's a misconception that plastic surgeons just do aesthetic
Yeah,
surgery. Yeah.
okay.
So we're also burn doctors. We're hand surgeons. We take care of congenital deformities like cleft lip, cleft palate.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. Did you say hand
Congenital. Yeah, we're also hand surgeons.
hand surgeons?
Yeah.
Like, okay.
It's like a gray area with orthopedic surgery for us.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay. And I was telling Doc Leo off air that it must be so fulfilling to be able to do what you do, from plastic surgery to treating burn patients.
Because it's any kind of burn injury has a really big impact for the patient. So and it's this is a disease. I mean, the patient is actually sick. I'm comparing it to an aesthetic practice.
Yeah.
Right? So usually if it's an aesthetic case, people are healthy.
Yeah.
So yeah. It's a big
may
difference.
pambayad lang. May pambayad, di ba? Gusto ko ng ganito.
Yeah, so mas may fulfillment kasi may sakit actually.
Yeah.
Yung nasaktan talaga yung tao.
Oo,
Parang
hindi yung,
ganun.
doc, gusto ko lang ng mas malaking dibdib.
Aesthetic, grabe. Aesthetic patients want improvement.
Yeah,
Kumbaga. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with them.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
yun yung difference.
It's your body, it's your choice. You want
Yeah.
bigger boobs? Go. Better nose? Fine.
Yeah.
Diba?
We're game.
Diba?
We're game.
Okay, Doc, here we go. Another trivia. Putting butter or toothpaste on a fresh burn is a safe way to treat it.
Baka maprito sa butter.
My
Hindi, loko lang.
gosh, I tried
this is-
toothpaste.
yeah. Actually, I think the history behind that
Sino
or the
nag-post
theory
nun?
behind that is you felt heat. So you think your reflex response is, I need to put something cold on it.
And
So you put something mentholated like with menthol or eucalyptus or something to cool it. But actually, that's a mistake.
okay,
That's a
so
mistake. So
what would be like a better treatment for
you
it?
just put the injured part under running water for around 20 minutes and to
Okay.
cool it down. You don't actually want to put ice or something because extreme changes in temperature will damage more tissue.
Oh my gosh, Doc, I just remembered something that happened to me.
Okay.
I will tell you off air because this is so stupid. I don't want to be judged. You will laugh.
Grabe.
So join us here on Healthline. I got Doc Leo with me all the way till 8. Again, he is from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care at EAMC or East Avenue Medical Center. Back to more music. Here we go. It's something from Elliot James Ray. You guys will dig this one. This one's called Who Knew Dancing Was a...
Magic 89.9.
Tina Ryan. Doc Ryland is still in Paris eating some croissant. He's back next week. Right now, we just want to say congratulations to all, the Black Eyed Peas concert ticket winners. Enjoy the show tonight at the Mall of Asia Arena. We're also saying hi to Madame Chairman of Eastwood Montalban, to Miss Michelle, and hello to Franco from Mama Dada. With me is Doc Leo Doble from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care at East Avenue Medical Center. Fangirl Char says hi, Dr. Doble.
Hello.
Hi, Joe Boy. I hope you enjoyed the Mariah Carey song that you asked for. Okay, Doc, here we go. Wait. Nawala bigla to. Hold on, where is that? Okay, here we go. One last trivia before we get into more music.
Okay.
What vitamin is produced by your skin when exposed to sunlight?
That would be vitamin D. So there's a lot of metabolism that goes on from sun exposure. But of course, we have to emphasize that don't get too much sun because you might get burned. Okay.
Parang love, diba?
Yeah.
Too much love can burn you.
Oh yeah, very, very much so.
Ayan.
Tapos kakailanganin nyo pumunta sa amin.
Yeah, and we don't want that.
Yeah.
Vitamin D, that's right. But don't forget, like Doc said, too much sun exposure can also cause sunburn, which is another kind of burn injury.
Yes.
Now, we'll be learning more about burns in the next hour with Doc Leo from EAMC. If you have any questions, Vitamin D nga. Thank you, Fangirl Char. If you have any questions for Doc Leo, we are live on playback.tv/magic899, or you can also give us a call at 8631-0899. Again, Doc Leo is with us until 8 o'clock. This is Healthline. Meanwhile, let's go back to more music sweep. Starting with this one from Glenn Check. This one's called Good Times.
Magic 89.9.
Today's best music, Magic 89.9. I hope you guys enjoy that music sweep. That one's from Dilau called Flying Kiss. What a romantic song. I like that. What do you think, Doc?
Yes.
Pwede, diba? Pwede.
Very smooth.
Welcome back.
Cool.
Welcome back to Healthline. As promised, we're joined tonight by Doc Leo from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care at EAMC or...
East Avenue Medical Center.
Okay, here we
Yeah.
go. Thank you for being here, Doc Leo.
Yes.
Let's start with the basics. How serious can burns get? And what are the most common causes you see?
Okay, so burns can be really bad depending on what caused it. So usually, I always talk about this with our students. Like, there are 4 elements to a burn injury. You have
Okay.
to know how deep it is. Well, the the mechanism first, how he got burned. So it can be hot liquids.
Yeah.
It can be electrical, which is one of the worst, the bad kinds. It can be a thermal burn. Maybe if you got in touch with something that was hot or cold, because we also
pwede, di ba?
yeah,
Doc?
frostbite is actually a form of burn injury.
But not very common here.
Yeah, not very common here. But ano pa ba? Yan. So the kind of burn, how deep the burn is, and how much of the skin is affected. That's what we call the total body surface area.
Okay, Doc. Speaking of burns, what percentage of the patients you see
Right.
are adults or children?
Okay, so this is a good question because until maybe 2 to 3 years ago, we didn't really have a big comparison with other centers.
Yeah.
But around 2023, I think, and a colleague presented his results of multi-center. That's 5 centers gave their numbers, and we found out that it wasn't really. It didn't differ too much, and it's usually yung top number, the kind of patients are pediatric patients, which is it's kind of sad, and usually they're scalp burns, so it means some form of hot liquid.
Okay.
And then after that, comes the others, electrical. But before that pala, LPG related burns.
Okay.
That's why kaya
that's scary.
medyo iffy, di ba?
Okay,
kasi
okay.
these are kasi if you're like heating water or you have Lucky Me, di ba? Yung kalalagyan mo lang ng boiled water, ganun. Pag ginab ng bata yan, pasok. Yung mga ganong bagay.
Yeah.
So these can be prevented. So that's what makes it, frustrating sometimes when you get the stories from the patients.
Kasi the first instinct is you kind of put the blame on either, di ba?
Yeah.
Kusino nag-aalaga, kung mommy or daddy or yaya.
This is gonna be so bad, but,
Come on, Doc. Say
but
it.
gusto namin pagalitan minsan yung mga magulang.
Oh, man.
Because sometimes it's carelessness. Sometimes it's just poverty. Some of these patients live in a shanty. They actually cook in that small space that they have, and where is the baby? The baby's on the floor. So yun, we can't do anything about that. It's kind of sad because these things can be prevented.
Yeah. I bet. But when accidents happen, Doc, what's the right thing to do in the first few minutes after a burn?
Okay, just like what I said earlier, don't try not to apply anything.
Toothpaste, guys.
Not toothpaste, not
Anything
butter,
with liniment.
not ice cream. Again, extremes of
asukal.
Wag asukal. Ano pa yung kanina? Wag asukal.
Milk.
Wag
I
milk.
was telling Doc Leo about my stupid burn incident from It Happens, Doc, diba? Please explain to them yung capsaicin sa sile.
Yeah, so right. Yeah.
Please tell them. I ended up in the ER,
It's a very
guys.
bad irritant yung capsaicin from when you cut chili or you slice chilies. Yeah, very
Please wear
bad.
gloves.
Yeah. So like what I said earlier, just have the whatever burnt part was under running water. Now, if it's an extensive one, like more than maybe 20% of the patient's body surface area, you just cover it initially with, well, hopefully you have emergency services, but we don't have it, right? So just cover it with a clean gauze or moist gauze, and then bring the patient to
right
the
away, yeah.
emergency room.
But like
yeah.
at home, syempre, I mean, come on. Are your medical aid or first aid kit updated? What would you usually recommend for us to have in our first aid kit for burns?
Actually, just clean moist gauze, that's it.
Okay, gauze lang
For
talaga.
us, yeah.
Okay.
There's no, because from different centers have their own like products. Yung silver sulfadizine, topical antibiotics differ from center to center, and sometimes the center doesn't even have it. Lalo na dun sa provinces where you have a low or no resource area.
Oh.
So we make do with what we have. Pero yung just make it
The basic,
the basic is just moist, clean gauze over the burnt area, and then bring the patient to the emergency room. the emergency room personnel will know what to do next.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, if you just tuned in, this is Healthline. I'm Tina Ryan. With me is Doc Leo Doble. He is from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care over at East Avenue Medical Center. Fangirl, I will get to your questions in a bit. Also, the ramen noodles. Can it be any water? Okay lang ba yung mga hard water na de-treated? What?
Running water, yes. Kasi kung
okay.
yun talaga yung lumalabas sa gripo nyo, wala ka
ng
namang choice. If you had a choice, okay? If you have distilled water, if it's good for your, di ba? You give distilled water to babies, right?
Yeah.
Yung for their formula and stuff. This is also a good option, but short of that, wala ka namang choice. Just have it under running water from the tap.
By the way, Doc Leo here is also happens to be a plastic surgeon. We're gonna talk about his transition to reconstruction, right?
Yeah.
Okay, reconstruction.
Yeah, I can explain it a little
later. Yeah, of course. Please join us. Well, Doc Leo is with us till 8:00. This is Healthline. I gotta take a quick break, but my computer is being used by who is using this? Chief. Give me 1 sec, Chief. I gotta play. Somebody's taking over my lap. Okay, hold on. Here we go. I do have room for one more song before I take a quick break. How about something from Jess Connolly? This one's called Fool Me Twice on today's Best Music. This is Healthline.
Today's best music.
Magic 89.9.
Alessi Rose on today's Best Music, Magic 89.9, 722 on Healthline. And I have Doc Leo Doble with me. Obviously, Rob Paredes just tuned in via playback. Hi, Rob, because he's asking if we can use toothpaste. Ayan na, Lola Remedy. Bawal nga daw
No.
toothpaste. So, running water.
Yes, running water.
Running water. Okay, earlier also, Doc Leo mentioned about the number of kids he treats.
There are lots of kids. Yeah.
And okay, so let's go back to that. For families tuned in right now, what are some really simple safety tips to prevent burns at home, Doc?
Okay, so usually when we get those patients, it is related to hot fluid, papainit, maybe for coffee, maybe for
Instant
noodles, or maybe you're actually boiling water on the floor. Please don't do that. Okay, so just keep them away from your toddlers, your children. Try to have them not be there while you do anything like that while you're cooking. And for people who use LPG tanks,
Nakakatakot yun minsan na, Doc.
yes, please always have them maybe serviced or checked or maintained.
Yeah.
I'm sure the people you buy the tanks from will be happy to check the hoses for you. One of those things that we discovered from, getting the numbers, because yun nga ngayon palang gumagawa ng registry, is if you know what a super kalan is. Do you know what a
oh
super
my gosh.
kalan is?
My mom has one.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Mag-ingat na. Kasi ang super kalan is the LPG tank, and then your stove is right on top. There's no if you have the hose, pwede pang, you might catch it if there's something leaking.
Yeah.
But if it's on top, if you light that up, it'll explode. So we have a lot of patients who
super
get
kalan.
blast injuries from that. It's very tough. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate all the questions that Fangirl Shar sent. However, I can't ask all of it, so let's pick one. Let's just go. You know what? Let's go back to your med school days, Doc. Unforgettable experience, though, from training, med school days that you can share.
Oh.
Remember, guys, Doc Leo also is a plastic surgeon, by the way.
Yes, that's right.
USD, right, Doc?
Yeah.
Okay, and memorable.
This is very relative because, if you talk about studying medicine, that's like a lifetime. So there are a lot of experiences there. But I think something related to what to the journey of being a doctor is joining missions.
Oh.
So I like those because you
give
you get some hands-on and
able to
give back. Yeah.
Aww.
So those are always nice and fun and very interesting, and there's a lot of learning.
And I'm I'm sure you still do that from time to time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
Okay.
We have our own versions depending on what your specialty is. So for us plastic surgeons, usually it's something related to congenital deformities like Operation Smile,
Yeah.
Smile Train.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you, fangirl. Here we go, Doc. How do we know if a burn is serious enough to rush to the hospital?
Oh.
Are there warning signs people should look out for?
It's very easy because you can actually grossly see it, right? If you
yung-
get burned.
Yeah. Like, minsan, kita mo na yung ano, diba?
Yeah. If you remember, I mentioned elements of a burn diagnosis, right? The mechanism, kung gaano kalaki, kung
Yeah.
gaano kalalim, actually. I'm sure yung pasyente sasabihin masakit.
Yeah, dalhin mo na ako
dalhin mo na ako sa
ER.
emergency room. Yun na yung number one. I also teach, I also teach this to our clerks and our interns and our residents na, pag may burn patient, napapasus ako eh. Sus! Ganun. And that's your abbreviation. So your first S is sakit. You have to manage the pain. U is uhaw. So when you have a wound, you have some fluid loss there, so you have to resuscitate.
So,
So you have to give some form of fluid, usually by IV.
Okay.
Hahabulin mo yung mga fluid losses.
Okay.
And the last one is sugat. So you manage the wound.
Okay.
So you put a topical antibiotic, cover it up. Usually what we give is silver sulfadiazine creams. That's a cream. And it can be different for some patients, but once it's covered, it's protected because the nerve endings are probably covered already.
Okay.
The pain goes down.
Okay.
So if you only manage these three, you have managed a lot already.
Okay. Now, Doc, once a patient is at the burn center, how is the treatment different from what they get in a regular ER?
It's like this. There's a criteria to say whether a burn center is a burn center.
Okay, tell us about it.
Yeah, so actually when you say burn center, strictly speaking, it's like an ICU setting.
Ooh,
So we get
talagang traumatic.
we get burn injured patients who have a threat to their life. Parang ganun.
Yeah.
Now, if you actually check numbers, hindi actually madami yun. Mas madami yung batang napapaso. Okay? But pag nangyari yung bagay na yun, if it's a really, a moderate to severe burn, you have to be able to bring it somewhere, and that's where we come in. And there's a criteria also for referring to us.
Oh.
So anything more than 20%,
okay.
A different kind of burn, like electrical, chemical burn, you bring them to us. So there's a criteria that we follow.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's very different because let's say you got burned. It was 2 weeks ago, you're fine, but you have a wound. When you go to us, we don't admit you to our burn center. We may admit you to the hospital, to a ward, and we will manage your wound.
Okay.
But you do not get into the burn center because those are for the patients who are, hinahabol namin because we want the patient to survive.
Okay,
So
interesting.
that's the difference.
Okay. Again, for those who just tuned in, Doc Leo Doble is with us, and he is from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care at East Avenue Medical Center. Doc, burn injuries don't just hurt physically.
Yes.
Now, they can also affect someone's confidence and emotions. How do you and your team help patients through that part?
Right. So for those moderately to severely burned patients, it's still a form of trauma. Okay, burn injuries are under trauma. So more than the physical, may emotional. Say some people assume the sick role even if they're healed already.
Yeah.
It's hard to function. So as early as getting them, like admitting them, we already refer to physical rehabilitation, to psychiatrists in our team. So it's always a multi-specialty approach. So it's not just us. We don't manage by ourselves. We have
You have a team.
We have the whole team of the whole hospital. So meron kaming if it's a pedia patient, we have pediatricians on board. If there's a medical condition, if the patient has a comorbidity or a medical condition, we have internists on board, depending on what sickness they have. It can be a nephrologist, an endocrinologist, etc. So it's a multi-specialty approach to burn care. Yeah.
And is it more traumatic for you during the holidays? You guys are on standby, no?
For New Year.
For New Year.
Yeah,
Diba,
for New
Doc?
Year,
I mean, we probably are not sleeping. But, yeah, so...
It's always, we're always on our toes during those times.
But since binawal na ang puputok, Doc, how much did the numbers decrease?
Okay, I don't know the numbers, but
Pero may
personally,
malaking
I have
improvement.
seen na bumaba na yung numbers.
That's good. That's
Dati
good.
kasi you can see it on TV Patrol.
Oh my
whatever,
gosh,
the TV show, the news shows, yung mga grabe pa, yung mga, ganun. So, you don't see them
As much,
often.
yeah.
You don't see them as much anymore. So, the government is doing something right, I think.
But yeah, iba
Nananakot.
na kasi yan talaga. Iba na yan.
Yeah.
7:30 tawas Jesus. I will remember that. Again,
Yes.
that's
sakit,
sakit,
uhaw,
and
and
sugat.
sugat.
Okay, there you go. It is 7:31. I gotta take a short break. Coming right back with, again, more of today's best music. And this is Healthline, by the way. We got a burn doctor in the house with us, so please stick around.
Magic 89.9.
Jessie J with No Secrets. And before that was something from, hold on. Was it Earl Agustin that I played? Tayong dalawa on today's best music, 7:38 on Healthline. Doc Leo Doble from the National Specialty Center for Burn Care at East Avenue Medical Center is with us tonight. Doc, here we go.
Okay.
By the way, Christian Bautista joins Boys Night Out tonight, so make sure to tune in. I know a big part of what you do is not just treating the injury, but also helping patients look and feel whole again. Now, can you share how reconstructive surgery comes into the picture for burn survivors?
Okay, so very simply, sometimes the burn is a little too deep. So when that happens, there's a lot of scarring that happens. So they will need treatment. Okay, but if you want to really discuss the whole treatment process from the time we get the patient, any burn that doesn't look like it's gonna heal within maybe 3-4 days, you try to because it means that the full thickness of the skin is gone or affected. You have to clear that area and put a skin graft over it. So reconstruction can be that early. And for those unfortunate patients who maybe they didn't have any burn specialist wherever they were, and there's a lot of scarring, and there's even contracture, which is, if you've seen pictures of badly burned patients where they can't move their joints anymore because the scar is really thick and hard, we take care of that too. So we remove that, we do skin grafts so that we can hopefully get the movement back and the appearance will not be as bad.
Okay.
So,
Now, before we move on to more questions about reconstructive surgery, Doc, stupid reasons why people end up in the hospital for
we
burn.
were talking about that
off air. I go, Doc, you have to share that. Okay. So
no, I mentioned because one of those because burn centers actually are like ICU units.
So hindi kayo basta-basta pwedeng ma-admit sa burn center.
Just because na burn ka, hindi automatically dun ka sa burn center.
Yeah.
The kind of patients we admit are really moderate to severe ones where we're trying to save the patient's life.
Yeah.
Okay, so sometimes those patients are electrical burns. They got
tatanungin talaga nila, Doc, bakit? Diba?
they get in contact with high voltage. And we were talking about, okay, how does that happen? Okay, usually it's occupational.
Yeah.
But there are some of those cases where meron tayong kababayan na nasa bubong, gustong kumuha ng mangga ng kapitbahay, kaya sinusungkit nila at tumama sa live wire or sa wire sa poste ng Meralco or whatever.
Buti na
Nakukuryente.
lang prutas, di ba? Paano ko nanungkit ng panty?
Oh my goodness.
Di ba? May mga nagnanakaw ng damit.
Very tough life, sir.
Okay,
pero really bad burns. It's so bad. It's please try to avoid doing those things. Magpaalam na lang kayo sa kapitbahay
humingi na
niyo.
lang kayo.
Okay. Kasi mahirap i-manage ang electrical burn.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the problem with that is it
affects the heart.
Yeah, the conduction of the heart because that's also that's also electricity. Yung impulses natin, ganun din kuryente din.
Yeah.
So we have to watch cardiac monitor yan overnight.
Gosh, ayan, bago po manungkit ng kung ano-ano.
Yes.
Now, what are some of the reconstructive options available for patients with severe burns, Doc? Like, is it always surgery or may iba pa bang approaches?
Yun, if it's a really bad scar or a contracture, you have no choice. More often than not, you have to go to surgery.
And it's
Now,
not a one-time, di ba, Doc?
you might need, depending on how bad it is, you might need more. And you might need the help of colleagues. Like if we have a joint affected which has gone tight because of the scar, we might need the help of our orthopedic surgeons.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, we have an orthopedic surgeon here.
yes.
Doc Ryland. He's just absent tonight. He'll be back
I would
next
like
week.
to meet,
He's
Dr. Ryland.
super fun.
Sama
You
mo
definitely-
naman kami sa Paris.
Yeah, diba? Lahat na lang, diba?
Yeah.
Doc, do you have a story of a patient who really inspired you? Someone whose journey from burn injury to reconstruction showed the power of healing. Please
I
share.
do have one patient who got a badly, he had a very bad thermal burn, and he had what I told you about, the contractures in the hand. So it was not functional. He couldn't grip stuff. But because he and his mom actually, so there was family support, which is important for our patients. Because there was support, we got the surgery done, we did skin grafting, we referred the patient to physical rehab, and now he's doing the rehabilitation. Sometimes patients feel so defeated, unfortunately, that they don't want to do anything to handle the deformities or whatever problem came out of that burn injury. So we try to encourage them, and this is one example of a patient who was determined. He had the drive. He didn't actually need motivation, because I was asking him one time, what is pushing you to do this? I mean, no one. I just want it done. So you like patients like this?
Younger patient?
Yeah, he's 20 plus.
Okay, there you go.
I remember this when I was a kid, my dad had a Life magazine.
Okay.
Really huge magazine.
Okay.
And like practically picture books. And I remember this very distinctly, that there was a feature about burn patient care in the US. And what struck me was that the doctors encouraged or involved the patient in their treatment. So when they did the change of dressing, the patient would remove it, because they can actually say if it's painful or not.
Yeah.
That actually empowers the patient somehow. So we
Parang
are
get
trying
them a little
to,
involved in the process.
yeah.
Okay.
Tapos that way too, they know how it feels. They know that, okay, if I do this quickly, the pain is not as bad. Yung mga ganun. And actually, it has something to do with autonomy. They feel, okay, I'm still in control of this thing that is bothering my body.
Gives them a little power. Yeah.
So
Okay.
they're more positive as far as the treatments are concerned.
Now, you mentioned earlier, Doc, your wife's a pediatrician.
Yes,
Have
she
you had her on the team for
No,
to deal?
we don't
Not yet. Okay.
no,
Kasi
because
diba,
I work in the government hospital. She has
okay,
her
so
own
private practice.
Yeah.
We will have her here. She's a pediatrician.
Yeah,
Excited to have her. Now, finally,
We'll
Doc,
invite her.
thank you so much for joining us, Doc. We do hope to have you back. What message of hope would you like to give burn survivors and their families listening tonight?
Actually, you probably have heard this already. The more important thing about burn injuries is prevention. So try to get yourself out of those situations where a burn might occur. Okay? And because I've already mentioned that a lot of it is hot fluids and children, please take care of your children.
Common sense,
Keep them
guys.
away from the hot stuff. And maintain and service. Have your LPG tanks checked, your stoves checked. Okay?
Sinulat
If
kay
only for
Mami.
those two things.
Super kalan, guys.
Yeah, kasi nandun siya sa top nung numbers namin.
Okay.
Kasi yung electrical, konti lang naman nagnanakaw ng mangga.
Nanunungkit ng mangga.
Hindi, usually those are occupational. So, work hazard yan.
Okay.
So, unfortunate. Pero, more often than not, employers really do take care of their employees. So, malas lang, parang ganun.
It still happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yung top numbers is something hot, that hits children and yung LPG related. So please watch and just be careful about things in the house. Okay?
Thank you so much, Doc, for joining us. And
My pleasure.
If they have more questions, well, teka, designer dad, humahabol. I always remind my kids to stay away from the kitchen when we are cooking and making coffee. Thank you, designer dad, for
Good
being
job,
responsive.
Dad.
Yeah, good job, Didi. Didi talaga. So if they have more questions, Doc, how can they reach you?
The Burn Center has a Facebook page, EAMC NSC. Okay, so
That's
East Avenue Medical Center, National Specialty Center for Burn Care. Yeah.
There you
so
go.
we're in Facebook, and you can actually go directly to East Ave if it's in an outpatient basis. Yeah, they
Ayun.
can come.
New Year's Eve nandun si Doc. Diba? Ayun, tsaka daw pag mainit ulo niya, lagot sila.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Oh,
designer
okay.
dad. Doc, thank you so much for joining us.
Yes. Thank you too.
Enjoy the music sweep, an hour of music sweep. And then, of course, Christian Bautista will be joining the boys tonight. Next week, Doc Ryland will be back. And give me one sec. I know we have another special guest, a lung doctor? Tama ba yan?
Pulmonologist.
Probably. I
Pulmonologist.
gotta get my facts straight. Guess ko, diba? But I do have his name. Give me one second. Where's my calendar? Here we go. Next week, we will have, ta-da, Doc Tony Ramos with us on Healthline here. And Doc Ryland's going to be back.
All right.
This has been Tina Ryan. You guys be good. Catch me at Lanois tonight at the New World Hotel for my open mic. Meron pang gig, diba?
Wow.
Doc, thank you so much again.
Thank you very much.
Leaving you all with something from, Yan Constantino's latest called Lumulutang, Nahuhulog.
Magic 89.9.